Alexa. Hello. Good morning. May I ask everyone to get seated at our event in the morning? Colleagues at the back. All right. Karibuni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, karibuni sana at the 4 Point by Sheraton for this morning event. And welcome to this UNDP and Stanbic Bank MOU signing ceremony. So happy to be here. My name is Mboike Mahienga from the Fungo Innovation Program. And it's my pleasure to say thank you for making your time to be here. You've taken a lot of time out of your busy schedules and your businesses to come to attend to this event. So on behalf of Stanbic Bank in Tanzania, I can say we're welcome you to be here, and we hope that the exciting event that we have aligned for you will be more fruitful and also engaging. Now, we intend to have a very short session in the morning, maximum for 40 minutes. We want to make it very efficient, so I'll go straight to the point and roll out the event. So to start with, I would like to come on stage the Fungo Innovation Program Manager, Mr. Joseph Manirakiza, to come and tell us why do this partnership, why and why now it's happening. Karibu sana, Joseph.
Right, good morning everybody. It's been a while since I've been on the podium, so just forgive me when I kind of stammer a bit. So, Madam Christine Msisi, Resident Representative UNDP, Kevin Wingfield, Stanbic Bank CEO, Janet Motu from European Union, our colleague Zoena from Vodacom Foundation, and our investees, our SMEs, colleagues from Stanbic and from UNDP. Good morning once again. So I just have a small task to do, just to talk about why we are here, but I would like to talk a little bit about the Fungo Innovation Program for some of you who might have heard or seen about it for the first time. So the program is a UNDP initiative, which is supported by European Union and other funders like UK Aid and UNDP itself, and from another program that had been running for a long time. So it was more of like sustainability plan for the HDF program that was UK Aid funded. And basically what it's meant to do is to be able to create we call it critical mass of startups that can be able to start, grow and scale nationally but also across the continent. And the reason is simple. We believe that emerging startups, supported by emerging technologies, have a lot to offer in solving some of the crises we are facing when it comes to employment for the youth and women. So that's why we are actually doing what we do. And as a program, what we're trying to do is basically three key things that we focus on. We focus on solving the challenge of access to capital by providing catalytic funding to competitively selected startups. And we also focus on strengthening the business development services or innovation enablers who are supposed to support those startups so they can be able to grow and also create a pipeline for us, but also for other funders. But at the same time, we contribute to the strengthening of the business environment, which is conducive for startups to be able to scale. So in a nutshell, most of the initiatives and activities that we do, we focus on those three things. So we have been doing that. So right now we have a cohort of 26 startups which are in our portfolio have been funded already. And we have them with us today, since yesterday actually. And we are in the process of launching another call which is going to add to the portfolio. But what we do, not just giving financial support, instead of catalytic funding, we couple that with technical assistance. So that's why we are here. We have asked them what they would like us to start with, and what they said they wanted some kind of training on capital raising, because most of them are in the process of raising capital. So that's what we have been doing since yesterday, and we're going to continue today. So after having said that, we believe that we cannot make a big impact if we don't work with others. So partnership is actually the DNA of how the Fungo Innovation Program and how UNDP works. And we also agree that we share that kind of vision with our funders and our other partners as well. So we have been actively working with other people, including strategic partners like the government agencies, COSTECH, ICT Commission, in different engagement, the private sector like Vodacom Foundation through many initiatives we've been having. And right now we are embarking on a partnership working with Stanbic Bank, specifically through the Standard Bank business incubator. The manager is going to be talking more about that. But the reason behind this partnership is because we share a common vision of strengthening the business development services, but also the increasing the chances of startups and SMEs getting access to capital. So we thought if we can join hands, share expertise, share the resources, then we can be able to reach more people and more young people that are creating businesses. So basically that's what we are doing. And we have been here since yesterday, but today we are going to be witnessing now the official partnership being kicked off, and we are looking to having so many more joint engagements together. We are looking at doing initiatives that are going to create linkages between the Tanzanian SMEs and startups with different potential investors. We are looking at co-creating with the bank and also other partners to look at how the banks innovate new products and services that can be suitable for the startups, because that's what they've been crying for. But we're also looking at working with the BGS providers to be able to improve the capacity of the service they're offering, so they can be able to offer what the startups are actually looking for. And many more also contributing, working together to continue to the enabling environment for startups and businesses. So having said that, let me not take so much time because my time is supposed to be short. So asanteni sana, and we are glad that all of you are here. Thank you very much.
Partnership is the DNA of Fungo program. Thank you very much, Joseph. So to further expand on Joseph's introduction submission, I would like to welcome Ms. Kai Molal, the head of Stanbic Business Incubator, for our 2 cents. Karibu san.
Hi, good morning. It's a little chilly, I understand, so I'm going to say that again. Good morning. Stanbic Bank Chief Executive, Kevin Wingfield, Resident Representative UNDP, Kristen Musisi, Program Manager Economic Development EU, Janet Motu, development partners, delegates, leaders, media, ladies and gentlemen. Habari za asubuhi. Hiyo imekuwa ya chini zaidi. I give up. Tough crowd. As my colleague Joseph from Funguo clearly and loudly mentioned why we are here today and why this partnership is important to us. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Stanbic Business Incubator and why we exist. The bank itself, we believe in many things, and one of them is in every community we operate in, we are contributing to driving its growth. And this is, the incubator is part of that testimony. And so what we do is we simply enable success for businesses to grow, to sustain and scale. And we do that in mainly 3 interventions. So one is to provide capacity. Why that, or what informs us to do that is because it's clearly known, it's documented in many reports where we say these are the gaps. They're clearly known, but what are we doing about them? So part of what we are doing with the SMEs, the startup that we're working with, is we're providing capacity for them themselves to grow. Huwezi kumsaidia mtu ambaye hajisaidii. Kwa hiyo hicho cha kwanza. We're giving them capacity to grow their business. So then the other thing is we have interventions around market access. So now I am capacitated, I have all these good products, good services, I'm able to provide for my suppliers and all. Where's the market? And so that will come in a form of highlighting, here's the market. And then the other one is go to the market and bring them in and say, these are the products, these are the people in our portfolio that we have capacitated that you can supply, you can contract, or you can work with. And then the last one, which we are starting today with the UNDP, is to unlock financing. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, that is a chicken and egg problem, where you come to investors or financiers and they say, oh, we want to help businesses, but they're not ready. And then you go to businesses and they say, we are not ready because we don't have money. And so I'm happy to say that we met a partner who's working on the other end, and we are working on one end. And so we're meeting in the middle, where we say they get funding, they get financing, but they're also capacitated to be able to use it wisely and be able to get more. So those are the intervention areas that Joseph mentioned. That is investor relations, business development services, advisory, and we were doing that even yesterday. And some of the things that were I always have my oh moment when I see a startup or a business go, and then you see this was the missing piece, this was the missing information. And then on the other side of the boardrooms we say, oh, that is a clear as a blue, but we operate in different environments. And so some of the expert knowledge, where we provide mentoring, and some of the coaching, and some of the journeys where we provide mentoring, you would see clearly these are important tools that we keep to, and then when you are balancing it out with the financing, then they're set to go. And so that's some of the intervention areas we work with. Right now we have 3 programs ongoing. One is supply development program that answers to local businesses participating in investment opportunities. We have 3 cohorts. One responds to women businesses participation. And the question was, we give a call and we have 20% females applicants. And we thought we messed up because we promised to have a 50-50 participation. So we went back to the drawing board and we said, what can we do? The question is the pipeline, yes, but we can do more. So let's call out a female or female-led and female-owned businesses only. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very good success. We had more applicants, and right now we're even incorporating female leadership in business. I know gender lens in terms of capacity building. And so we're doing that, and we're doing that with our partner, National Economic Empowerment Council. They would have loved to be here, but they sent their apologies. We have 70 SMEs that we're working with. And then we have regional workshops. These are coupled by our recent product that is Bank, that is targeting the local, the micro businesses. So these are your local fundis, your local merchants and all. And what we're doing is we're doing info sessions. This is how you register your business. This is how you're financially included. And we're doing that regionally across Tanzania. And then the last one is what we've started to do yesterday with UNDP, where we are targeting startups, innovators, and entrepreneurs. And we are hoping to intervene in areas of financing, but also business development. And with those very, very few words, I think you can all attest, there were very few. Thank you for listening and welcome.
Thank you very much, Kai. With that said, I'm confident and I see so many bright new days ahead for innovators, MSMEs and other entrepreneurs, as the environment is still being curated for them, for you guys to grow. So the days are good. So before we proceed to the signing of the MOU that will cement the common vision that Funguo and Stanbic, that UNDP and Stanbic Bank Tanzania have, I would like to welcome on stage the Managing Director from Stanbic Bank Tanzania, Mr. Kevin Wingfield, to give a brief remark, and then we'll proceed. Thank you. Karibu.
UNDP resident representative, Ms. Christine Msisi, now I think friend and colleague. The EU representative, Janet Mutu. Other partners present, ecosystems builders, founders, entrepreneurs, members of some of our first cohorts of our incubator, staff of Stanbic and UNDP and other colleagues, members of the press, and ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Habari za asubuhi. Today, we're honored to be joined by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, as we announce our partnership through the Funguo Innovation Programme to support the ongoing vision of our Stanbic Biashara Incubator. I'm really excited about this partnership. I think the initial discussions started, I think we met Christine and her team sometime, I think in September, October last year, and the conversation started, and I'm so excited to see where it's got, and really looking forward to where it's going to go. We're just talking to Christine earlier about where, the opportunities that exist through this partnership. So the partnership between Funguo and Innovation Programme and Stanbic Biashara Incubator represents a significant step in efforts to enable and empower local entrepreneurs, innovators and startups to access diverse sources of capital through technical assistance and linkages and exposures to potential investors and funders to sustain and grow their ventures. And I think through this partnership, we're able to bring the strengths of both organizations to harness some of those opportunities. I think we all recognize that SMEs are and will be engines of growth for many of our economies, and particularly in the likes of Tanzania. As Kai mentioned, as Stanbic Tanzania, our purpose is Tanzania is our home, we drive our growth, and we certainly believe that MSMEs are going to be a substantial driver of future growth. We also recognize that SMEs have very high failure rates. More than 30% of SMEs don't get past their second birthday. And that when you get to sort of 3 to 5 years, you get 50-60% of MSMEs don't get past that time. And there are many reasons for that, but I think two key ones which were highlighted is, one, access to business and management expertise, and then in terms of access to capital and financing. And I think one of the things about financing and access to capital is that I think we need to separate the two. One is about the access to capital, so equity and so on, and the other is access to traditional bank financing or whatever it might be. And those are two different types of and require different things. And I think hopefully over these 2 days, as we talk about these things, we get to better understand what are the requirements in order to be able to access some of those things. So it's important to mention that we take pride in collaborating with key stakeholders as Stanbic, and with whom we share similar aspirations. So our partnership with UNDP Funguya Innovation Program will allow us to leverage their expertise and resources to provide MSMEs and startups in our incubator with the support they need to grow and scale. Partnerships are a key pillar of the bank's future-ready ambitions to become a platform business that supports the entire SME ecosystem and offers beyond banking solutions that provide access to inclusive growth and the promotion of opportunities. And I think it's just worth unpacking some of those words, because I think sometimes they sound impressive, but what do they actually mean? So I think the first thing for me is around ecosystems. What is an ecosystem? So I think if we talk about in the context of, for example, you get many ecosystems, you get agricultural ecosystem, you can get MSME ecosystem. I think that's a good example that we can use. And the ecosystem essentially is all those pieces that a micro or small enterprise needs and operates within in terms of the context of their business. So as we've talking about over these 2 days, it's in the investors are a key part, the partners are a key part, the finances are a key part, the banks and other financial institutions are a key part, the suppliers are a key part, the customers, access to data, access to make payments, to do collections, access to information, services, etc., business expertise. All of those things are needed to make a successful business. And that essentially becomes that ecosystem within which those businesses operate. If we talk about platforms, so as Standard Bank, as Stanbic Bank, we are looking to move our business from a traditional financial services business to create a platform business, which essentially says, how do we create a one-stop shop where all of those components that MSME needs, you can go to one place. They can go to one place. And so the way we think about it is we talk about almost a shopping center or a mall. So traditionally, I think financial services have been the shop. So if you go to a mall, you find the bank. What we want to say is, how can we become the mall? How can we create platforms that allow, for example, the SME to go and find all of those services that they need? And so not just banking services, but access to information, access to investors, etc., etc., access to customers, access to suppliers. We have many customers. As Standard Bank Group, we have many customers across the continent. How do we create those linkages that provide access to markets, etc., that those MSMEs need? And so we believe that by building those platforms, we create that access. And then how do we do it? We can't do it on our own. We have to do it through partnerships. And and today is an example of those partnerships that we're creating. So we don't not just providing banking services or financial services, we start providing a myriad of various solutions for those customers. So we launched the Stanbic Biashara Incubator in August last year. As Kai mentioned, together with the National Economic Empowerment Council. We currently have 70 businesses that are undergoing training, mentorship and coaching, with the aim of equipping them and their businesses with the necessary requirements and capacity to absorb opportunities in the key strategic investment projects. And I think that's really important because I was fortunate enough to be part of the incubator journey in Uganda. We started it in around 2017. And the reason we started was because we saw there were a lot of large projects happening, for example, in the oil and gas industry. We saw the East African crude oil pipeline emerging. And we said, well, okay, there was a strong push for local content. But what we saw was that those SMEs were not able to participate because they lacked the necessary expertise and skills to be able to manage simple things, what we would think as simple, bid documents, how do you pitch, how do you put together a sensible business plan. All of those things just weren't there. And when you're dealing with multinationals who are allocating contracts, you need to be able to meet their requirements. And so we started the incubator in 2017, and it's grown and grown and grown from there. We now have well over 1,000 people who've gone through that. And as I said, we started it really focused on the oil and gas industry, and now it's moved into many other sectors of the economy to provide support, whether it's agriculture, etc. And our dream here is to go through a similar journey and grow this incubator. But we can only do it through partnerships. So we've had 2 successful cohorts already go through our incubator here. I think some of the participants and beneficiaries of that incubator experience, and the coaching and mentoring which Kai spoke about, which follows, and I think they can testify to some of the positive impact that's had on their businesses. So through this journey, we're also arranging several workshops across the country. So we're starting to take it across the country to promote financial inclusivity and business development, all with the aim of reaching a wider micro and small medium enterprise audience. As I've said, our purpose is to drive Tanzania's growth, and through this program we can achieve this by improving the socio-economic status of entrepreneurs, especially women and youth, by providing them with skills that increase their employment options and allow them to encourage investment in their businesses. This MOU that has been anchored in the Global 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and will provide various avenues of support by facilitating basic business training and mentor the beneficiaries, but also capacitate entrepreneurs so that they can be independent and more innovative. So I really would like to take this opportunity to express my deepest appreciation to the UNDP for their support and commit them to this important initiative. And certainly I can give you, Christine, our assurance that Stanbic Bank is absolutely committed to make this work as we join hands in addressing today's complex and dynamic development challenges that hinder SMEs' advancement. So through this initiative, Stanbic Bank is reaffirming its commitment to supporting the growth of SMEs, innovators and startups. And we will continue putting in place key interventions through strategic partnerships such as this to enable sustainable SME development. We're certainly looking, as I said, to scale this. We've started our incubator here in Dar es Salaam, but over time we're looking to take it to many more regions and many more sectors of our economy. I'm confident that this partnership will have a positive impact on the lives of Tanzanian youth and women and contribute to the country's economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for making the time to join us this morning, and looking forward to the signing and answering any questions and clarifications. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kevin Wingfield. Key takeaway, partnership is the key pillar to Stanbic Tanzania success. And I'll say partnership is the central goal for achieving the remaining 16 United Nations goal, SDGs. Now, without taking much time, I would like to welcome Madam Christine Musisi also to give her brief remarks before we proceed to the signing. Karibu sana.
I'm not going to say Mr. because you're my brother now. Kevin Wingfield, Chief Executive at Stanbic Bank Tanzania Limited. Our dear partners, Madam Janet Murutu, European Union, who are financing this program of UNDP. Ms. Zuena Farah, who is Vodacom Foundation, CEO, and we have worked with Vodacom Foundation as UNDP. I also want to recognize Madame Tuli Mwembapa, CRDB Foundation. We really look forward to a strong partnership with you. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen of the press, Funguo investees, Stanbic biashara businesses, habari za asubuhi. Niwasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Kazi endelee. Thank you. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And at UNDP, we believe in partnership. And this is why we have decided to join hands with our friends at Stanbic Bank, Tanzania, to go far in catalyzing the Tanzanian innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem. It is also in the spirit of Goal 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which focuses on partnership and also financing. So we are moving in line with our global and also national goals. I am therefore delighted to be amongst you today and bear witness to this great occasion where we kick off the partnership through our Funguo Innovation Program, which is financially supported by the European Union, the British government, UNDP, and jointly implemented with UNCDF. I mean, since Janet is here, can you just say a few words? Can you greet our people? Because it's not just financing, we co-created this program together. And please just say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for putting me on the spot here.
I know, I was thinking, should I warn her or not?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and I won't take much of your time. I've been to a couple of occasions and events where I've met a lot of startups, and I really like the energy and the motivation you have and the drive to learn and grow. So yes, I mean, the EU really believes in private sector development in all different angles, and particularly the startups. So yes, I mean, I'm happy to partner with UNDP, who's driving the Funguo program forward, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. So as we've heard, our two initiatives, Funguo and Stanbic Biashara Incubator, share the vision to improve the quality of business development services that are offered by different providers and innovation enablers to youth and women-led startups and early-stage businesses, as well as to promote and support an enabling environment for startups, innovators, and MSMEs. I love the idea or the